Good evening. Not sure is gonna come on in. Got my little ducky song going on, just feeling the vibration. Come on, I do have green on. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So welcome. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me. Lexi, you and me, Friday night. We got a date, girl. Welcome. Welcome. And thank you for joining me this evening. Whew. Oh my goodness. It just gets crazier and crazier and crazier with the energies. And what do we have here? Just let me just take a look. Okay. Because we have the moon. Yeah, the moon squaring over to Venus, and then Venus is in Taurus. And that's what it is. Okay, now I know. Okay, looking at Venus, I got it. um, I can't remember what I was listening to. Anyway, so many things I've been listening to. The just the energies, like how things are being played out. We are in, if anybody got my um my predictions for the next 5 years, I talked about the Bakus and how they're playing out. Now we're at the end, sort of like 2012 was the end of the Baku, and so we're in a time, of really disruptions, and we're also in the time of, in the name of God, at the end of, what is the name of God? Something to do with the name of God. And ending this energy and transformation. And I think we're going to be going through a time of searching of what that is of God and who that is of God. Now, I think there is a lot to be said there when we are really getting into the discussions of God and the discussions of the revelations of where we are within the world and the transformations of the world at this time. And we are entering into a metamorphosis of of change, of huge, of these changes. And I was just listening to Russell Brand. I love Russell. And he's like, what the fuck is happening? WTF is happening. We're looking at things that just seem so unbelievable, and they are, right? Um we're looking at the United States or Russia taking down a drone. But when you're listening to the mainstream media, just listening to the adjectives about the descriptions of it, they're describing this drone as, of feelings. And, Russell Brand does a better job of comedy on it. But that's the whole thing, is that really have to listen to the language. Language is key at this time. What is the language being said, and how is that drawing you in? How is that bringing you into this energy? And we really have to look at the words that are being used and how they are being used to manipulate your emotions in order for you to be drawn in to to the agenda, to the propaganda, or to whatever is being unfolded. And that's the same way with religion. you know um how where religion sort of started and where it is today. How was that transformation happened? How did they, how they wanted to keep you in? Because keeping you into the fold or keeping you into the flock, that's money. If you're not falling into what everybody else is wanting you to fall into, then they know there's going to be a discrepancy. They know that you are, you know there'll be riots. They're not going to be able to keep the control of what they're trying to be keeping control of. Heard that one of his. It was crazy when he compared the news clips, and it was a word for a word the same. Yes, yes, and it's amazing, because he's got great wit. He's got great wit, and he's a double Gemini. That's why I love it. When I first started listening, I'm going like, is he a Gemini? Hmm. Hmm. So I had to look up his chart. He's a double Gemini. So he's got his brain is like, "Whoa." No wonder he did so many drugs because he didn't know how to utilize the energies that were coming into him so rapidly, especially as a young man. So between drugs and alcohol and sex, I mean, it's what better way to appease a Gemini, right? Because their brain there's just so much going on there. They're just constantly vibrating. So, um, but so it's learning how to channel that energy into new ways. And that's why he does different disciplines and stuff, and especially with meditation, Kundalini, yoga, and he does different forms of martial arts, which really bring in a whole new discipline. So you see that, when you have all of this energy, all these things, learning how to utilize that energy in a positive way or channel it in a way that's going to help you to deal with, the overthinking, etc. But yeah, Russell Brand, double Gemini. This is like the thing. It's like I love guys who are like double Geminis and double Leos. My husband's a Scorpio Capricorn, and I'm a Scorpio Cancer, so we're opposites, like totally opposite ends of the field. Um, kind of crazy. Anyways, so with the energies that are coming in, we're finding that a lot of it is to draw you in. How is that drawing you in to the narrative? How is that getting you to really look at things? Now, when we look at the North Node being in Taurus, and that's Rahu. Now, if you go into Ayurvedic um, astrology, the nodes are are I mean, we got a dragon, we got tail end of the dragon. So Rahu's is not nice. So we got Venus coming into Taurus, and it's a lot of conflict having in the world. So she's coming into her house with conflict, right? So there's conflict that's happening around you. So if you look at the world around you, it's like, holy fuck, yeah, there is conflict. There is a lot of distrust, dismantlement that's going on in and around. We're seeing it within the bank system, um, and how the bank system is crumbling. But if you step back and look at how this dismantlement is happening, it's not that it just, oh, poof, it just happened. Nothing like this is coincidence. It's there is a pre-planned or preordained energy that is here, um showing you what is going on. But if you're enthralled in it, and you're getting lost in this energy, or you're getting lost in the craziness, then you're going to find that crazy shit starts happening to you. And how you really need to take a new look at the world around you, take a new look at your world around you, and how you are reacting to it, and what is drawing you in. What are the words that are drawing you in? Because even with Russell Brand's "What the fuck is happening," his little jaunt here on YouTube, I mean, he's explaining in a very humorous way on how they are drawing you in to believing this is how, this whole thing between Russia and the United States, right? So it's getting you to, oh my God, look at what Russia's doing. Oh my God. Oh my God. So that then you can get into hysterics with it. Instead of taking a step back and really listening to it, and you're just like, okay, it's a drone. It's an expensive fucking drone. That fell into the Black Sea that was close to Russian mm, border. What does that all mean? So, uh, this is this is really that you're then you start really looking at, oh my God, is this a bunch of bullshit that is going on in the world? And the more of this information, because of social media, the more this is coming out, the more you're starting to be able to get the information, and the more you are beginning to realize, oh, this is all a bunch of bullshit. This is a bunch of bullshit. What I find that when we get into the truth of the world that's happening is the tragedy of what happened in Edmonton with the two police officers. And I was discussing that with Steve tonight, and I said to him, my brother was a police officer from the age of 8. He went in when he was 18. He retired, I think, around 50, 55. He was in there for some time. Anyways, it unfortunately made him an alcoholic, or it triggered those tendencies within him to become an alcoholic. And when you look at that now, if we get to the core of it, now we can get into Pluto with this. When we get into the core and unmantling this, we see a 15-year-old boy who obviously who had mental disorders. A 15, now 15 is where it is the Saturn opposition. So it's the Saturn opposition in your sign. So this is a time of fighting back the man. I'm not going to listen to you. Now his Saturn opposition would be that his Saturn would be in Capricorn, or in Cancer, and the opposition would be in Capricorn. So his Saturn would be in Cancer, and his the opposition would be, no, hold on. A Saturn opposition. His Saturn would be in Leo with an opposition to Aquarius. And Aquarius Saturn can really be fucking crazy. Hold on. I'm just getting it. Hold on. No. Well, close to it. Hold on. Hold on. I'm getting it. Got to bear with me. I've been up since 5. I'm looking at Pluto. So there's a Pluto opposition to his Cancer, which is mother. So he has a father opposition to his mother, which is Pluto, right? So Pluto. Saturn's in Pisces, so that's in opposition with Sagittarius, accountability. So his Saturn is in Sagittarius, opposite with that, with Saturn being in Pisces. So we're getting things to do about accountability, about karma, and all of this, right? So here's this 15-year-old boy who obviously has mental disorders. And it'd be interesting to look at his chart even further. Um, because he'd probably have at 15, he'd probably have his Pluto. His Pluto would be right at the end of Saturn Capricorn. So his Pluto would be somewhere in between, either right, 2008, at that time of when Pluto went in to Capricorn and the whole dismantlement of the world around you, to where it is now, to another dismantlement of the world. So he's been living in a world of dismantlement, a world of despair, a world that could have father issues, could have, where he's looking for something that has some structure to it, but there is no structure, within his world. And mother trying to fix. So we have a mother trying to fix. Now I'm just reading into this scenario, so just follow with me. I could be wrong, totally off key, but I got mother trying to fix everything and trying to seek what help, but still appease that of the child, appease that of the issues because of whatever issue she's dealing with. So he is dealing with mother issues because of the opposition with cancer, of wanting, the warmth and the love and the safety of it, leading up to where it is now. And that opposition, that fighting back the man, fighting back, but there's a karmic part to this, right? And holding that karmic piece. So here's this 15-year-old boy going through horrendous mental distress, unable to comprehend what is truly the reality of his world through going through the last 3 years of whatever COVID, masking, school, the whole bit. So going from a 12-year-old to a 15-year-old and dealing with all of this, and how did the mother deal with this? So there's a lot, I think, slipped through the cracks with him. Where the gun came in, I'm not sure. The family could have had guns. He could have found, got a gun. Who knows? Um, to that ending his pain of the mother by killing her, then freaking out, seeing the seeing the two officers, and felt there is no choice but to unfortunately kill them and then himself. This this is society and the truth of society. This is where we need to begin to look at the love that is needed within our society, the love that's needed to help the society, help one another, help that of which, to for the basis. Because when we start to see things like that, we start to see the crumbling of our society and how we really need to begin to come in and save it. And, with the banks and all of that, that to me is like whatever. Okay. It's seeing the truth of really what needs to be worked on within our world. And this is the opening. This is where we see, the truth of God, that the name of God or that of God, that of God has no more meaning. And that is one of the, with Venus going into meeting Raku and with Uranus there in Taurus, is showing you the foundations of the world are crumbling because now we are finding that there is no meaning of God. That of God has no meaning. That of God, that of the world, of the structure of our world has no meaning. So what is it that we need to bring together so that we can create a more harmonious, loving world? And that's where we're at. We're at this place where we are going to be and seeing this dismantlement, seeing the famine. And the famine may not just be that of physical, but the famine will be that of spiritual hunger because our body, our soul will be craving that of the love of God. It is that, when I do the karmic release. It is the thread going back to that of the divine. The divine thread, the thread that we from our crown chakra, as we go back and we're wanting to have that connection, the connection back to the father and the mother. When the father and the mother connection is broken at a higher spiritual level, we begin to see a 15-year-old boy killing his mother and two police officers. And then we have to really look at, okay, where do I need to take responsibility in my life? Where do I need to begin to shine my light for not only myself, but for those around us? And how am I bringing that to whatever I do? And if I am not able to bring that 100% and take that 100% responsibility of my life, of what I'm doing at this moment, then I need to take a step back and do a recheck, because that's fucking hard to do all the time. So we need to have the timeouts. We need to have those times of recouping, of understanding, of really taking that reanalyzation of ourselves, where it might be, I need to go for a walk, I need to connect with nature, I need to go in the backyard and scream, whatever it is. This is what we need to start doing, because we are going to be a witness. And once we know something, we are 100% responsibility of it. That's the laws of the universe. Doesn't mean a guilt trip, doesn't mean you go out and say, oh no, my God. No, it means that if you're 100% responsible for what you know and what you see, that means that you take it into consideration. That means that you send out the blessings and the love, and that what you can do, you do. If you're unable to get involved or send money or whatever it is that needs to be done at that time, that's what you do. That's how we create a more harmonious, loving society. Right now in Paris, there are millions of people, not thousands, millions of people protesting. One of the podcasts that I follow, and he got a phone call on the podcast that his mom, like he lives in France, and his mother was going to the doctor, got caught in the riot. These riots, I mean, we got a bunch of French people that are fucking pissed off because the president just decided to change the law. Yeah, fuck you. I'm changing it. That type of power, that type of manipulation, we're witnessing. And we're seeing the uproar, and then we're seeing the people saying, no, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to do that. I need to, take the responsibility of what I need to do to create the change. And unfortunately, if that means that I'm going to burn Paris down, I'm going to fucking burn Paris down. That's where, this frustration. And the frustration is going to grow. The frustration now this is adults that are doing that. Now could you imagine what a 15-year-old is going to feel? God bless the parents. God bless the families of the two corporals that were shot. I think, oh my God, my brother, God bless his soul, because he has passed away now. But, he was a police officer, and my father was a police officer. So there is this, thinking of in the line of duty, what they witness is can be horrendous. Can be horrendous. So here we are at a huge point in our lives that this energy, this new direction, I'm not going to say it's new, but this direction, here goes the dog, that is bringing forth for us to stand in our light. And that's the dog. And be that consistency. And when we're unable to do it because we're human, then we have to learn to take that time away and that break and breathe because that's all we can do at times. Stop it, bad dog. She's barking at the people upstairs. But, you know, it's not here that I come here um to give you doom and gloom. It's here that I want to show you the hope, to come in and say, "Hey, yeah, we are together in love and light and wanting to bring that change." Um I wrote on here saying, "Am I cursed?" And the reason I wrote it is because every vehicle I've ever owned has gotten into an accident, and we just got this car. Like, fuck me. I don't know what happened, or somebody cut my husband off. I don't know. He swerved. Anyways, he ended up hitting a stop sign. He's fine. He's fine. The bumper of my car is not fine. Um, so, um, yeah. So we have that. So, excuse me. So I have to, and it's funny thing is because I've had this car a week now. So we're gonna have to look into the repairs of that, but the repairs for that is gonna have to wait because I just honestly I cannot afford the repairs like of it. I can't. Um, it'll have to be duct taped or some kind of shit. I don't know, but they're from craziness in my life. This is it. It is. It's not that I go out and look for craziness. It um just craziness happens in my chart. Just saying. Just saying. Let's do a thing right now. Da, 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 da. Oh, shut up, dog. Now the dog's playing upstairs. And of course that's gonna get my dog going. Okay. What I'm doing, let's see, bring this up. Okay, we'll just do those. Ooh. Okay. We're gonna do a share here. Invite present. Present. We're going to do share screen. And we're gonna look at some stuff. Oh, they're getting loud up there. Okay. If you can see this. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Hide. There we go. Okay. That's a good puppy. Okay, if you're able to see this, this is his chart, my husband's chart. Shh. Okay, so his Uranus is over here in Leo. So we have that, but we have all of this energy in his below the chart. His first house is Pisces. I never realized that. Interesting. Is this Steve's? Holy fuck. And his rising sign is Aquarius. Funny. Okay. This is, when you look at family charts, I have all of my children have Aquarius in their signs. My Scorpio is in Aquarius, and Mateus has a rising Aquarius. So very, very interesting. His nodes are in Taurus and Gemini. Okay. But let's just take a look at what was going on here. So we have a moon connection right here. So the moon coming in, so a lot of things going internally, and it's in his 12th house. So we have something to do with, and then here is Pisces just at the end going into the 12th house. So we got a lot of energy that really has to looking at, I think, internally, of connection, of what's going on, connecting, and how that's connecting and how that's playing out internally karmically. Is he connecting with that of what's around him? Because there might be where this energy below, because Pisces in the first house, when we look at Pisces in the first house, that's really where I'm going to watch before I leap. I'm going to see what other people do before I actually do it. And here comes Saturn in here. It's like, how am I going to look? How am I going to create this newness, this reality, as we're having, the sun coming to the end and it's conjunct Mercury? Am I being able to convey the truth of who I am within my own spiritual self and connect with my truth and my spirituality, which could cause distractions, not being fully coherent, with all of this going on, and especially with Mercury, might be overthinking things going on. And as we're entering into the second house is ruled by Taurus, and it is Aries. Here I am. I want to get through things fast. I don't need to go slow and steady. Slow and steady. Now, again, here we come with the communications, and Taurus is in the third house, slow and steady. Gemini isn't slow and steady. Gemini, loves to change, loves to have things going on, loves to have that communication. We have things going slow and steady, and how we are creating that that steadiness within our lives, and how we are able to do it. And with Venus coming in here with the south node, then there could be some sort of distractions that are coming in. So I mean, on a minor side, yeah, we could see that, now in hindsight, yeah, I could see where the distractions going on, especially mentally, with everything thinking of how wants to be, and coming through a sacrifice, or feeling like the sacrifice of things. I've had to sacrifice so much in my life for what? What am I sacrificing? And it's the second house, so it has to do with Taurus. Being that sacrificial lamb in the house that is ruled by Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. Venus doesn't like to sacrifice anything. And being in this house of the fire, the god of war, I don't want to do this. And so there could be some kind of eruptions, disruptions that are going on within, because I'm not fully paying attention. I need to watch more of what is going on in my world. So that's just me looking at a chart and reading it, and letting as you read it, as I look at it, looking at the things now as things go forward. What with Venus is going to retrograde for the first time in our lives in Leo, and that'll be, I think, July. So we have a Venus that is going to connect with Uranus. Now, Venus is connecting with Uranus down here, but a Venus connection in Leo going retrograde. She's going to be going retrograde, going to hit as Pluto, come back. I feel like there's going to be something that, when it comes to the struggle of how he deals with the truth of relationships within his life, and looking at that, because we have Jupiter and Pluto. So he's coming here to learn about relationships, and work with relationships, and bring in a something substantial in there, something with a routine, and having that routine, which is very important. But there is a struggle because he still wants to shine. So there's accountability that's being held here, and learning to communicate that accountability, as we have a sun Saturn conjunction in the ninth house in Scorpio. That's like, fuck. you know. Um, I don't really know his rising sign, but this is just basically looking at where things are within the chart and looking at it. So stop the share. So there you go. That's what I do. So if you're ever wanting a reading and you want me to look at your chart and we can get into it, definitely book a reading right now. They're on sale till Easter. So, and taking a look at it. So me looking at that today would be like, okay, he had a lot of distractions, he's got a lot of it on his mind. There's a lot of overthinking and trying to get things um together within his own self, within his own spiritual self. And what does that mean and what does that look like for him? Not for me or anybody else, but this is dealing with what he needs to look at for his own self. So, yeah. And then I bring in the tarot and stuff. So if you are wanting that, definitely. And I'm doing the new moon readings. I might be. If you are wanting a new moon reading, they're $30 right now. So if you're wanting one, definitely you can DM me, get a hold of me. Most people who watch me know how to get a hold of me. Facebook, you can get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger. You can, if you're on here on my live on YouTube, you can get a hold of me through YouTube. You can get a hold of me through the goobermama@gmail.com, and book a reading, and or even order a new moon reading, and you'll get those tomorrow because I'll be sending them out. We're heading into a spring on Monday, and then a new moon on Tuesday, and then Pluto going into Aquarius for the first time since 1777. So that's going to be really interesting. So, anyways, I want you guys to shine your light. I want you to really take a really good look at how you are perceiving the world around you and how you can change your perception or try to change your perception and come in with it with more light for yourself and for the people around you, and really have an understanding that with a lot of the Piscean energy and the Aries energy and Taurus energy and everything else and Aquarius, blah blah blah, um we are going through a lot of mental stress, because so much is changing so quickly and so fast. So, have a blessed evening. I am going to finish my glass of wine and sit back and relax and enjoy. I have to work tomorrow at my muggle job, and then I do my spiritual job on Sunday. So, let me know. Want a reading? Get a hold of me. God bless, and the goddess bless you. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all you say, and all you be, and all you do. Blessed be everybody. Shine your light. Let it